Good morning, friends. This is what we've got going on so far with this duplicator. I'm still impressed, and I believe he got the main tolerances right. The thing that, and it really comes with putting anything together like this. I mean, you kind of have to wear a lot of different hats in a shop, because you can't be sending your machinery out every time something happens. The thing that I have to be careful about, really the whole reference point of this whole thing, are these side rails. And they're very, very stiff, which is nice. If you see the yoke assembly is out here in the middle, I've taken measurements from the center down to my work surface, and we're within a 32nd. So I really am impressed. His choice of materials and the whole general concept is really easy to get used to. But the thing that you have to do is you kind of have to go beyond the directions. And this is true with a lot of the machinery that I've helped install over the years and the stuff that I've installed by myself. Aim small, miss small. The biggest concern is this whole horizontal situation here, and that just be parallel to my work surface. Oh, the Husky, the XP wants outside. How about you, XP? I know. Daddy's doing stuff though. I know. You know, we're not spoiled, are we? And so now we're at the point where we're ready to get our center line down the table and then start mounting the live centers and the tailstock, which is going to be fun, and that's gonna get us even closer. I have to kind of jump back and forth between square, straight, and level, and parallel, and what's functioning. If I have to make an alteration away from square, straight, and level in order for the machine to function, then that's what I've got to go with, within a certain set of parameters. Yak, 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 yak. I know everybody wants to see it going, so we're gonna try and get this up and rolling. It would really be nice to be here and here. For our x-axis. So, in theory, this should be square. Connecting these 2 points should be square to these lines. So let's check it out. Okay, we're going to show just a fuzz of line. Yeah, we're right there. So, we know that our Y travel on this end is square. So we do the same number down here. We will connect this dot, show that line a touch. It's not showing, there we go. And that's not quite right, but we gotta be patient. And if you start getting in a hurry, you just need to stop. Let's see if I can feel, yep, I can feel that little divot from the countersink. So there's our original mark. There's our original mark there. Well, friends, I think we're as far as we can go today. But we're assembled, and as near as I can figure right now, we're calibrated. We have to put test pieces in, and cut, do some cutting. So there's gonna be sawdust flying. Pretty neat, huh? All this, and underneath was earlier experimentation with the router, but after a little research last night, here's what I got. So basically, this is rough. Obviously, this is the first pass. It's not going to win any land speed records, but what it's going to allow me to do is duplicate, obviously, exactly, instead of having to pump out the next, sending something away that is awesome. I mean, like, wow, I really like that profile. It's too bad I have to send it out, kind of thing. So anything I make that I really love, I can duplicate it now. So once you start to do it in 4 sides. So now I'll come to this top. So let's see what we got here. Not sure how this one's gonna go because it's so thin, but we'll give it a shot. Well, we're back. Oopsie. Almost dropped the phone. Have been thinking and working and thinking and working and working and thinking and thinking and working and anyway, I've come up with an idea that I think is going to help. And like I said, I think there's a tutorial, maybe even a two-part or a multi-part tutorial, because this is like right on the borderline. It is commercial quality, but there's parts to it that you've really got to be thinking on your feet if you want to be able to do high quality work with it. I could see where this unit, if somebody was kind of half-heartedly, you know, well, that looks like a good idea, you know, I could see how people would lose interest with this, because you really, you've got to get into the duplicating, and actually, you know, it's like anything. Duplicating is like its own world, and so I'm finding myself researching duplicating, and like I said, gunsmiths and guitar makers and whatnot, because it's a very specific kind of thing. And anyway, what I've got going here, my new idea for this is I took this was a little handle here that went here. And I had talked earlier about the stylus itself, like this is a countersink, but you can imagine the barrel of this countersink being the stylus. And then you have the shaft that goes into, that gets received into the stylus holder. But anyway, when your stylus drops below and then your stylus goes in abruptly, that's a problem. It goes in and then it digs into your workpiece. So my idea is, this is just was me playing around. The actual piece is up at my buddy's. He's welding, but what I'm going to have him do is weld me a nut onto the end of this. Oriented it correctly. So we got our center lines on the blank before we did our cutting. But what I did was, when I had the blank, I kind of just laid this over it, thusly. And so I was able to kind of guesstimate with a straight edge what I wanted to remove, but yet still leaving enough material top and bottom and side to side that I wasn't going to mess myself up. So this was useful. Always save your broken axe handles or your mess ups. I've learned so much from my broken handles, it's crazy. So hey friends, we're back on Thursday and just, you know, figuring this thing out. Right now, I need a longer stylus holder. So I'm over here at the drill press, very carefully found center on this guy. And we're starting the process of enlarging this hole to 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go in probably not much more. How far are we in? Hey, I don't look too bad. Not bad for a carpenter, cabinet maker, axe man. All right, we're gonna throw another drilling bit in this baby, and I'll catch you in a little bit. Okay, well, we went up the food chain in the bit box, and we just decided, because this was supposed to be 1/4 inch, so we stopped shy of the 17/64, and we have our 1/4" hole. So I decided to test this guy. If I can, okay, there we go. And that is a great fit. Let me hold this. I have a bunch of junk in there. I'll have to blow this out. So this is a great fit. The stylus isn't moving very much at all in there. So now I have to drill a perpendicular hole to accept an 8/32, where is it? To accept an 8/32 set screw like this. Okay, here we're set up to drill our 90-degree hole. So anyway, let's see what happens. It looks like we're through, so I think we'll stop. Well, we finished, and I think I did pretty well. Now, this was the original stylus holder, and for what I'm doing, I was running into problems with me needing to get down far, and issues with the router collet nut touching the workpiece. And so kind of eliminated my adjustment scenario problems with a longer stylus holder. So you can see, rather than having to adjust the bit or the router, now I don't even need to adjust this stylus. I can really go anywhere I need to go. I also came up with a depth stop. So if I want to, say, have a side cutter bit that's long and just take off a certain amount, I can set my spring clamps on the bar side to side so that it travels in one plane, and set the depth stop here, this foot that comes down and gets tightened. And then that's going to allow me to glide along at a certain specific depth and at a certain specific width. And I just find that necessary, not all the time, but when you need it, you need it. When I need a CNC type of cut, when I need to be just straight down, you know, freehanding is great, but it's not gonna, it's just gonna help. I also came up with, I was at the hardware store today, and I came up with a solution to the stylus. You know, the stylus rides like this, and when it drops down like this, the whole works wants to go over. So I found these nylon, these 1/2-inch nylon bushings with a 1/4-inch hole, and I can put another one on there. So not only does it keep me from going in, it also gives it like a bearing type of action, and it allows it to roll faster. Another thing I came up with was for my 1/2-inch stuff, and I don't know if I can do this with 3/4, I'm guessing that I might be able to. I got a piece of PEX, which was cheap, and now this is a 1/2 inch. I made a little sleeve out of the PEX. I enlarged this hole on the PEX to a true 1/2 inch. But what I can do with this is put it over this stylus, and when I start getting close, what it's gonna do is hold me off the thickness of the wall. So The whole idea with this is to not have a 1-to-1 ratio until you're ready for it. You're removing material off of this carefully, and you're adjusting your styluses so that your stylus adjustment up and down and side to side is only taking off over here what you want. So those are some tricks that I thought about, and some of it I saw by watching the gunsmiths work and whatnot. But so anyway, yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be great. I have an idea of how I want to proceed after watching the gunsmiths work on various areas. Not every area is going to be at the same depth, and not every part of the grain, depending on what you're doing, is going to have the same operation. So the hogging of the taking away of a lot of material happens in a clockwise motion and a back and forth motion. And then when you start getting closer to your final shape, then you can move lengthwise, and you can actually rotate these a little bit and run that corner and just keep going around and going around. So it's really going to be cool. I'm really excited to keep going and start making some handles. The diamond bits are here on Sunday, and I have some large, this is called a round nose bit. I have some 1/2-inch shanks that have a 2-inch cutting surface, tall, so it'll allow me to stay up here and do some, removal without having the router go down so low. So pretty exciting, I think. And the only thing I can think of that I have left to do is I need to change this out to a smaller piece because I need this travel. Whoops. I don't want that foot on that. So a minor issue. And so that's where we're at. Stay tuned. Woohoo! I think that one's gonna work out too, because I'm really sneaking up on it. I gotta sneak up on probably, I don't know how many, but I've gotta sneak up on the finished contour and then kind of figure out how much I can remove at one time without getting myself into trouble. Because if you take too much material, then you can't put it back. So anyway, have a good one.